Tell me why ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n máa dúpẹ́. Okay. Good day, everyone. We started streaming live, and I'm excited that today is the day 2 of the Family Finance Conference 2021. It's been an amazing experience so far. From the first speaker, I did the introduction, and then we had the first speaker, Mrs. Atewologun, speak to us about family finance and parenting. We had so much fun talking about how parents need to incorporate parenting in their budgets, in their financial goals. Because it's very important that in preparing the children for the 21st century, we can't use our own mindset to do it. And you might think that you can do it on your own, but with the recent trends that we're seeing in the society, it's obvious that you need help. You need to be in a community where other parents are able to share their concerns, share what they are doing, and say, I'm able to see it this way, I'm able to do it this way, and because I've been able to achieve success this way, I think others can do it also. So you need daily motivation, you need daily inspiration, and some of those issues, they will not just come up like that. It is as the days goes by. So it's very important that you have a parenting coach in your life. And we highly recommend Mrs. Atewologun because she's amazing. She's the parenting coach for my children also. And if you need to have more knowledge, you can also follow them on social media to get more information. The second speaker, Mrs. Amaka, Mr. Olatibosun, spoke to us about real estate. There's certain things that we need to know about real estate before putting our monies down. So we don't just tie our monies down thinking that we are on and we're doing well with it. Because honestly, it is intentional that you don't tie your money to something that's going to yield you returns that is commensurate with the kind of needs that you have in your family for time. Now, it's very important that you tie this, especially when you have not gotten to the level where you can say this particular source of income would meet this need, this particular other source of income would meet that need. This is why it is important for you to understand family finance. Having financial literacy is fantastic, it's very good. But when you have knowledge of family finance, it makes your financial literacy knowledge to be fantastic. It makes it more productive, and it helps you to fly because it gives you a reason. It gives you a good why. It gives you a specific why for you to be able to do certain things. For some families, they need a lot of motivation to save. For some families, they need a lot of motivation to want to plan for the future. When you have a good knowledge of family finance, it helps you to plan. It helps you to, make adequate provisions for all these things as they come up. Because once you have a family, those needs are waiting for you. They're not going to tell you, I'm coming, or you can't wish them away because they will always be there. So if you're watching the replay, I want to apologize that there is no audio because we're starting on time. We don't want to do African time. As soon as we have enough persons, we'll be able to show you the video. But as it is now, we have to keep moving and we don't have to wait. I spoke extensively about the need for us to understand why we should do family finance, why we should invest in getting the right knowledge on family finance. And I want to encourage you to watch the replay of yesterday so you can get real vibes, the full gist of what it is that we spoke about. And then after that, we had Mrs. Amaka Omo Oike speak to us about financial intimacy. Earlier on our Instagram live, she spoke to us about financial orgasm. It got us all laughing and we're wondering which one is financial orgasm. Yesterday, she broke it down and helped us to understand that when you're working together with your partner as a team, you have synergy, you're able to do a lot. For people, money is so sensitive, they'll be naked and ashamed in the bedroom when it comes to money. Everybody wants to do their own thing, right? So she broke it down on how you can still do your own thing while you're still achieving financial orgasm. So if you don't understand it, please go check the replay and get the full gist. After that, we have another amazing speaker that came on and spoke to us about the need for us to know that, see, it's not just here and now, it's about balance. She spoke extensively about balance. I call her Mama Ine. She's a pharmacist, and she's so versatile. And she's broken down in less than 30 minutes how you can achieve balance in your family finance. It's so amazing because she spoke about you doing what you can do per time based on your current capacity. So you don't go outside of your limits and you set the right boundaries in place. She spoke about the fact that every family's needs is unique. So you need to take cognizance of these various differences. She did an amazing job, and honestly, I've been so wowed. I'm still waiting I'm yet to recover from it. Now, today, we'll be talking more about how we can take it a step further. We're taking it a step further because yesterday we have spoken extensively about those foundations. Today, we are building on it. Now, the first speaker that we're expecting is, she's an amazing woman. She's into empowerment. And for some people, she takes people on different skills, different vocation skills that they could use as plan B, or they could use to save money in their families. For instance, if you can bake, you can make the bread that you eat in your house without buying bread, right? And that way you have an option. You have an option on the kind of ingredients you use. You have an option to choose healthy ingredients. You have an option to say, this is what we'll be eating in our home. So that way you put the money flows within the family. That is an edge that will help you to achieve the quality of life that you want in your family. For some people, they say they are very busy, they don't know how to go about it, they don't know where to start from. Mrs. Olatejo is going to break it down for you and help you to achieve all of this and even more. Now, she has different areas of vocation that she's into. I'm going to mention some of it so that as soon as she comes up, she will be speaking straight on with it. And part of what she does is she does training for decoration, people that want to learn how to repair their shoes. For some people, they would like to learn how they can do different things like soap making, right? Now, she'll go into details on that. But what I want to say is, for some people, they believe that they don't need it, that they are fine with whatever it is that they're doing, they are busy as it is. I want to encourage you to know something that, see, it might not be for you. It might be for somebody that is dependent on you. For instance, you have some families around you that say, send me 2K today, send me 5K tomorrow, and you're like, I wish I can help you more, but I can't do this. There will be a time that you might not be able to accommodate giving to them. So what do? You empower them. You sponsor them to go for courses like this. and so that they can start making some income for themselves. You plug them into trainings, empowerment trainings that will help them to, have something that they can sell and make money for themselves. So you might not need this for yourself, but you might need it for somebody that's looking up to you or depending on you. Another angle to it is this. She also trains children. She goes to secondary schools and she trains secondary school students on how to do all of these things. Why does she do all of this? She's doing all of this because as a family finance specialist, I understand the importance of exposing children to the art of doing things by themselves as early as possible. When children are at their teenage stage, they need to learn they need to explore on different things like that will help them to discover their passion. So for some people, they might not be able to do very well in bead making. They might be phone repairs, there might be program, might be whatever it is. Exposing those children to those things is going to help them when they begin to when they need to find their level, find their feet in life. Because when you start exposing children to the art of doing those things for themselves, it helps them to be more independent. In the journey, in the phases of family finance, we discover that parents that expose their children to the art of doing those things themselves, it helps them to understand the art of making money faster. And what does that do for you? It helps you to be independent on time, so you can focus on taking care of yourself and your future needs. Imagine a parent that pays for school sets, pays for secondary school, that school set, pays for that, and then college, first degree, second degree. You're still financing the child to go for PhD. The child does not earn any money. The education system is not, especially in Africa, is such that you go to school to that you learn are things that will help you to work for someone, not necessarily for you to work for yourself. So exposing them to things like this is going to open them up to how they can begin to fend for themselves soon enough. So it is very important that you start early, and that is why you can also get her to help your children to embrace all the skills or get whatever it is that you want. But the essence of us doing this, including her session, is to create an awareness that this is possible, that you need to expose your children early enough. And whatever it is, even for yourself, you never can tell. Some of the people that goes through our training, they went for the training for themselves. They just wanted to reduce, manage costs in their home. Guess what? Opportunities came along the line, and they were able to use those knowledge to start earning money. And then they became money minting machines. So you never know. So, but all of these are things that you're doing to develop your earning capacity, either in terms of reducing costs or increasing costs, and it could be directly or indirectly. Whatever her session comes up, I want you to make sure you pay attention, listen to what she has to say, and ensure that you implement it, because every family does not exist in isolation. You are always attached to another family, and it's always giving you birth to you, either being pulled down or pulled up. But the thing is, it is a good thing, it's a noble thing to give. And it's also a noble thing to give with wisdom. And that is why when you have the right knowledge, you know how to empower people without necessarily pulling yourself down. So it is very important that you pay attention to her session. After her session, we're going to have Coach Sam speak to us about mental health and family finance. Mental health and family finance is very important because the mind is where it all begins. The mind is where everything that you have to do in life begins. And if you're not very careful, you put a limitation to yourself to how far you go because of what you allow into your mind. And that's why mental health is very important. Mama Ini spoke about the balance aspect of it. Today, Coach Sam is going to explore the option of how your mental health can influence your capacity to make money. You don't want to miss a session. A session is going to come up. And then we have a surprise session. I'm not going to go into details. When you see the person, you just, unpack the surprise. All of this we will be doing. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned because we are coming for you. A lot of people have different phases in their family finance. I'm going to be talking a bit about what I said in this, and what is the fact that every family goes through 7 phases in their family finance. 7 phases, and these 7 phases are very, very important. The 7 phases will help you as an individual to know that you have a place, you have a role, you have something that is coming in the future. And when that thing comes, nothing is not something you wish away, it's something that comes as a result of growth in your family. So when you know this, you are intentional about positioning your family to embrace the knowledge, to embrace that need when it arises, and it doesn't just meet you unawares. Normally, before the people get married, they do counseling, and they're told that just make sure that you put your monies together with your spouse, make sure you spend money with care, and make sure that money does not become an issue between you and your husband, and all those things. And a lot of times we are not really told what to do, how to build a structure in our finances. We're not really taught very deep. Well, please mute your mic as you come in. Okay? We're not really taught all these things when we were getting married. So when we get into marriage, we just go on and leave it one day at a time. So we have to do, but when those phases, the first phase is actually before yes I do. Before yes I do is the phase where you're not yet married, you are engaged to someone, and person is the person you are convinced that this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, but you're not, you don't have enough. You need to know the right things about this person so you can know whether this person is a spender or a saver. And there are certain questions that you need to ask. Those questions are critical. It's beyond, are you a graduate? It's beyond, I love God, right? Everybody loves God, and people that love God mismanage money. So it's not enough for you to go through that route. You go deeper this time around. And those questions are questions that has to do with you understanding their money mindsets, how they relate, how they do all those things. So I will not delve too much on that, but it's for singles and for some people that are, ready to get married, and should I say mentally ready to get married, but finance is an issue. Then they need this knowledge. They need to have the right knowledge, the right foundation for the before yes I do phase. After that, we have the Mr. and Mrs. phase. The Mr. and Mrs. phase is the time where you begin to not just declare, but then you give access, and then you use structures that, okay, but as pertains our in-laws, this is how we want to be doing it. Is either we send them the same thing, or we send as the need arises. Or if they have any need, you let me know. And once you have the discussions beforehand, it makes things a lot easier. And so when you set those boundaries, it helps you. So beyond that, you have an account where everything comes to, you're planning all those things. You are intentional about how you spend money, having the right knowledge of decision making. It will help you in that phase of your family finance. But when that knowledge is not enough, you know why? Because when you're married, one of the reasons why people get married is procreation, right? And that means you have an expectation that you want to have children. And when that case arises, what happens? You need to plan for it, because when they come, they didn't send for you. You told them they should come. You desired it. So what happens? You need to provide for them. Right from when you do your scan, and there's some basic things that you need to know. And once you have this knowledge about those basic expenses that is associated with parenting, that is associated with becoming a parent, which will be breaking down much later, you will see that it's not it's not a joke. And if you know this, you'll be able to have an objective mind on how many do I want to go, and how do I begin to tailor my income or my quest to make money, so that I have all those things in place before they come. For people that get it, that have the capacity, their mental health capacity is strong enough, they are already looking at, okay, if I would need like say $10,000 or $100,000 to raise my children, why don't I work towards having $100,000 in 2 years? And then you're intentional about this. So that way, after 2 years, you're not thinking about how you're going to take care of your children. You're thinking about making life a lot easier for you, especially on the long term. So, but if you don't have an idea of this cost, if you don't have it broken down, when they begin to arise, you will not know it. And then that's why targeted savings is important for you to have the right expectation on what you want to use the money for. For adventure, you use it for something else, you know that you need to take it back. You need to return that money as a when due. So if people are not intentional about all of these things, the next phase is going to expose it. And that next phase is the getting busy phase. The getting busy phase is a phase, the mommy and daddy phase. Right after the mommy and daddy phase, you have the getting busy phase. That getting busy phase is going to expose how busy you are being, or how productive, how your reserve is. If your reserve is very strong, you get busy growing, increasing it. If your reserve is not very strong, you get busy wanting to grow your reserve. The danger of this is, that's why you see couples wake up very early in the morning, leave their children behind, because they look at the bills, the reality of those bills is beginning to hit them, and then they don't spend time together anymore. Even the children are like strangers to them. So if you're not very careful, your relationship priorities begins to get to a misalignment. So it is very important that you prepare for this stage before you get to that phase. And if you're in that phase already, there are certain things that you need to know to navigate properly into the next phase, which is the sustaining your standard phase. Sustaining your standard phase is critical, because you want to make sure that your standard is not reducing because the needs of your family is increasing. Maybe if you have children in preschool, they're now in college, and you have other children, different age ranges. You want to be intentional about ensuring that their standard doesn't drop, while you're not compromising your future needs, because your future needs are actually waiting for you. The future needs are there waiting, because once you get older, some things are going to start coming up and you need to face it. You can't earn money actively for a very long time, but generally you can have a system that will help you to continue to earn money. Apart from that, so the fifth stage is now the pre-retirement phase. The pre-retirement phase will open your eyes to what you need to know. What you need to know, like you're looking at retirement ahead, and you begin to ask yourself, am I really ready for retirement? If anything should happen now, am I really ready to go all out and have the sources of my income managed if it's not flowing the way I want to? So these are the things that you look out for. Beyond all of this, you want to be intentional about not finding yourself sacrificing your long-term goals for your short-term goals. So if you've been getting it right from your previous phases, this phase will not make you surprised. It will help you. So beyond that, then the retirement. The retirement phase is if you have they will be able to pay for their own school fees, be able to start living their lives. You will not have to be thinking about how you're going to feed them, even though you're still at your retirement phase. So they are standing, they are independent, and they are working, consciously. So that way you are building the pathway for generational wealth. This knowledge is very important, because if you have just financial literacy, you need to structure your investments, you need to structure your money making so that it helps you to match things appropriately, and you don't have so different assets that you cannot liquidate or you can't have access to, or maybe you put all your money in a particular area and that time it's not due for you. If you're going to have to pull it out, the value will reduce. So those are some of the challenges that you can avoid when you have good knowledge of family finance. Our speaker is still coming, and I want you to know this, that whatever it is that you do, your life, your family, You shouldn't subject your family to a standard that is not progressive. What does it mean? Some people believe that until they start living in a particular way, maybe until they relocate, or what people call japa, they're not successful. No, every family should understand that they are on a journey, and that journey will continue to progress as they move on. So it is very, very important that we take advantage of family finance knowledge to match those needs so that we're not stranded in our expenses. We'll be going on a music break. I'll be back to share more insights on this family finance conference. I hope you're getting value.